It's not usual for me to start recording during the loading screen. But as you just saw, there was a high noon Thresh, and that, well, isn't me. So let's look at how it goes when this enemy Thresh takes him to the top lane. And actually, I'm going to keep the chat for the first minute or so because it's fairly nice. And you might be wondering, is he a sub? Does he know the channel? He looks like he doesn't. But that's fine too. A lot of people like to experiment. He takes press the attack. That's what I thought was like, well, that's what I usually recommend. So yeah, but then he builds a very different way, of course, and we're going to be taking a look at not only the build, but the playstyle as well. I'm trying out Senna top, so I'm basically first time Senna. We're not going to talk too much about me playing during the laning phase. We'll talk about Senna later on maybe, but we're mostly going to talk about this guy. Man, I haven't done a replay in a while, so yeah, I said I was going to turn the chat off. Or at least I meant to say that. I'm going to do that now because he gets a little bit mad later, and I don't think he's a bad guy for it. We all get a bit mad in this game. So, with his press the attack, he's going to get one auto attack here, but I'm easily able to fleet footwork away from it, and he'll never get the press the attack proc. And actually, Senna has really good range and can really harass Thresh, unlike most other ranged champions actually. If I was this Thresh, I would have probably tried to set up some flays here and there, especially because he got level 2 first, because he's pushing harder. Instead, he focused on just the auto attacks, not going for actual combos, so I feel like he doesn't know kind of where the damage comes from in the early game. The auto attack is a late game thing, he knew about that definitely, and you'll see why later on. We'll get the scores up. So I'm new to Senna. If you have anything to criticize about my Senna, do it in the comments below. I'd love to learn how to improve on this champion. Though I'm finding her meta is a bit tankier in a top lane than it would be like what I'm kind of gunning for, which is I'm gunning for damage, but I'm happy to play the champion like as efficiently as possible. But that's not good for the memes, is it? So what this Thresh is taking is actually a ton of harass from me, and if I had taken Grasp of the Undying, which was another option, then I would have actually been able to harass him much harder. What he also doesn't do is he has no wards at all against Twitch jungle. Now, Thresh sucks against ganks in general, so this didn't have to be Twitch. And I think I played this gank kind of poorly, I could have done it better, but when you're extended with Thresh, you are vulnerable to literally everyone in the game. Janna jungle can kill you. That's not actually, like, Yui jungle with a red buff could probably kill you. The other thing I was mentioning is that if I had Grasp of the Undying, or I was playing someone like Kennen or Jace who can harass harder, even someone like Shen, Renekton who can trade harder, being like this extended with a Doran Blade and not the Doran Shield, the only way he's going to sustain is by attacking the minions, and as you saw, that pushed the lane. He has no mobility, even if he used Flash, he'd still be dead because we're ranged champions, red buff, etc. And no ignite to fight his way out. That's not the real criticism here. The real criticism is he should take Doran's shield and even consider something like Fleet Footwork so he can survive against this level of harass. And if I had Grasp of the Undying, like I was saying, I would be doing even more damage to him, which would cause far more reason for him to build sustain. Instead, what I'm doing really is just kind of spamming two auto attacks on him, auto attack Q, to try to farm up my souls as much as possible. That was what I was recommended by someone. Now, Twitch, I didn't like his decision here. His decision was like, hey, I'm going to walk straight down the middle and assume that you're going to help me and I'm not going to die. Whereas the pathing through this part of the jungle was clear, but he complained that Trundle was like already there or something. He didn't even have vision of that, he just kind of assumed, and therefore he died, and I cancelled my recall, which I shouldn't have done. I just gave in to peer pressure. So for the builds, I'm going to be going for Frozen Mallet very, very early on. This would be even better with Grasp of the Undying, but apparently Fleet Footwork move speed is something extremely good for top lane, particularly probably against melee laners. I did expect to receive a bit more harass from this Thresh, so I guess the Fleet Footwork was justified in my head. But as we can see, he's going to start with a longsword, and then that's going to go in straight into a BF sword, which he later takes into Infinity Edge. I'm not against having a BF sword immediately, and I quite like it. I do not, however, like Infinity Edge first, because Also, it's 160 damage level 9. But, you know, if you take the, on the E passive. And it will hurt very hard. It will hurt harder than anything if you get lucky with the crit. But it's less consistent than Storm Razor, has less utility than Storm Razor. And actually, the utility synergying with the rest of the kit is a very important thing. So, like I said, I'm going to focus a little less on the build. We're going to talk about the build still, but I'm going to focus more on like the playstyle, usually in relation to the build. So he's got a BF sword here. And then look how like he's desperate for the auto. He's desperate for a hook engage as well, but then he doesn't see the minion wave coming. It wouldn't hit anyway, because I do not think I get hooked once by this guy. I think I get hooked at some point in a like... I think I get dived, yeah. We'll get to that when that happens, and that was my mistake, I believe. I moved, I forgot the Thresh was there, basically. That's horrible. But, yeah. So, what I don't like about how this Thresh is playing with the BF sword first is that he's trying to push as hard as possible to clear the wave and then hook, I think. Really, he should kind of be trying to let it push a little bit more, I think, towards himself, so he can freeze and then have more agency to harass me and not be under threat from this guy all the time. Very important. So now I'm just going to set up the freeze because it's completely in my advantage. He backs off. He knows Twitch is like around somewhere in mid lane, actually, with full vision of him. But he backed off anyway. Maybe he was chatting. Maybe he went to go, I don't know, go toilet or something. Who knows? It's normal games. But yeah. I think that there's a lot to be learned from this Thresh in particular. Also in the matchup, in case, I don't know, you fight them yourself and you don't want to lose because you're the AD Thresh guy, right? As you can see, Twitch is already coming back. We have a control ward set down already. He has no idea that this is happening. He's pushed up once again. The BF sword's not going to do that much damage because I have built tanky. I did not actually build tanky in response to this, but it definitely helps because it means he definitely can't kill me. So the 2 ruby crystals going into Frozen Mallet. Frozen Mallet is seen as apparently a core item on Senna, especially in the tank support Senna that is very popular right now. But the idea of this one, I think, is Mallet, Black Cleaver, Fleet Footwork go extremely fast, slow enemies, and kite forever. And there's some other items in there which are pretty funky, which hopefully we'll come to in another video or live stream, talking about Senna top, especially when I kind of figure out my own build. Although I have come up with this excellent point of reference from someone on the Senna mains Reddit, I would like to experiment some more on my own and see if there's some kind of optimal damage build I can take. Because tank is great and all, but that's no meme. That's no good meme. I say that. I play tank Thresh all the time. So you can see he's gone for the BF and the pickaxe. So this is extremely high AD. So I tried to ult this guy. Unfortunately, that's not enough. I even burned Flash to try to get in range for Q. Completely unnecessary. I wouldn't have worked. But I've got to try things out. I'm new to Senna. Maybe it could have saved. Not with this level of AD, it wouldn't. So a good thing about going tanky on Senna is actually that you can... One, you can avoid burst and usually sustain back with Q. I just leave this because Diana's fine. There's no way we 2v3 anyway. Oh, I had a point there. Completely forgot. I should really write notes down when I do this kind of thing. Then I'd have to analyze it first, and then I watch it twice. You know how it goes. No, you don't really. Or maybe you do. Yeah, I'd like to focus on some kind of damage build for Senna. So the way he's playing now... Once again, he's hard pushing the lane. I think he's trying to reset it here. And is this where Trundle comes in? No, I'm not sure. He's going to his Krugs, I think. But he just hard pushes it, tries to clear the wave and get a hook. Getting a hook here would actually be kind of devastating if I were to hit him back. If I don't hit him back, then none of these minions will touch me, and he'll just get some damage from his big AD slap, and then that's about it. I can walk away, Q heal it up, Fleet Footwork, it's fine. Right? So, in fact, his playstyle, he's not ever going to get more than one auto attack off on me. So maybe he didn't know it was Senna top. This is definitely possible. He wanted to bully a melee laner, but when you build like high AD and you have press the attack, it doesn't really synergy. With press the attack, you need to get that third auto attack, or you're not getting any value really. So And you can see sometimes he doesn't even get the first auto because he's always expending it on minions. Looks like Rift is going to Trundle here. I'm not sure where Twitch is. That's fine. Oh yeah, they get this one. I remember. Oh yes. This is where I die. Spoilers. So I've just been focusing on farming this whole time, and when Twitch came to jungle, came to lane, I'd offer him the farm so I'd get the increased chance to get souls. I forgot to mention this earlier. So Senna gets a higher chance to get souls when she doesn't kill them, and this is what supports her being a support rather than a AD carry. And I think the way that they've been nerfing her is actually kind of good. In fact, they're not shutting down a farming Senna. They are trying to nerf fasting Senna in some different ways, as well as just nerfing the soul value completely. So I go for a greedy little thing here. And he does a kind of tiny land time which does nothing, and I land a W combo, and I think that's a good time to ult. Unfortunately, I had flash up. Wait, no, I didn't have flash up. I used it earlier, right? I did something stupid there, so I think it might not have been totally in my control because Trundle did a really nice pillar. But what I didn't have to do was the ult combo because it really didn't do very much damage. I haven't built for very much damage, so I shouldn't be doing things like that. If I quickly check Senna's ultimate when I revive, this is physical damage. So building lethality, maybe that will do way more damage, and that's when I want to make aggressive plays like this. This tanky playstyle is very much about surviving and farming, especially with the fleet footwork and all the sustain we've got. So no need to worry too much about that. Now he has his Infinity Edge, and this does hurt a bit. However, he is behind a level. He's behind on... Actually, no, he's ahead in farm because I suck. I'm like first time, second time, third time Senna? I'm not sure. Either way, I'm farming my souls, and that's okay. Even losing farm on Senna isn't even that bad, and sometimes if you can get a soul instead, it can be worth it. Because then the minion you miss can drop a soul, and the gold value of the souls is actually really good. And that's why fasting Senna is a thing in the first place. As you can see, with the mallet, I'm coming up to get some extra stacks, and I can chain these autos really well and keep him under control. Look how little the Infinity Edge does damage to me. So his DPS is not going to kill me because I'm tanky. And obviously, you can see what's about to happen. Excuse me. That's probably not going to be edited out, though I would like to. That was rather disgusting. You can see what's about to happen. So I'd just like to talk about that for a second, because we're talking mostly about the Thresh here. So he's gone Infinity first. Press the attack. His Infinity doesn't help him with press the attack at all. So, sure, it does extra damage, but they're like separate entities at this point. They're separate things doing different jobs. So the Infinity is going to increase his DPS like it would if you built it on literally anyone. Even Vel'Koz is going to benefit from Infinity Edge in some way. So he gets his first auto attack, which does 1 PTA prop, and the Infinity Edge slap, which may or may not be a crit. 25% chance to crit at this point. So that's 80 AD. That's 160 AD worth of E passive damage. So, and then you add another 80 because you have the actual AD you get from it. Because he's past level 9, he has a 300% AD ratio essentially. That doesn't mean very much. The DPS that he gets from this Infinity Edge, kind of minor, because there's a 25% chance to crit. You know, without the attack speed to back it up, it's kind of crap. Not only that, but he has Press the Attack. And Press the Attack's third proc is going to take a while, because he has no attack speed. And he doesn't get the damage amplification on the the Infinity Edge value. There's, for two reasons. One, obviously, it's expended on the first auto attack. And two, the DPS on Infinity Edge is crap right now because he has no attack speed, like we said. So he doesn't get much value after he does get Press the Attack, if he does. Like, is that very form? Oh, okay. And then... Oh, I was going to mention as well, is that me building Frozen Mallet, there's quite a lot of champions top lane that build something like Black Cleaver. They're going to have a lot of health, and they're going to have better base defense than Senna. Oh, Senna's armor's pretty good, actually. Maybe I'm just that used to Thresh. Anyway, most enemies don't have sorry, do have good base resistances, do have good base health, and do have like a tanky item as their first item, meaning Infinity Edge first, even if you crit, honestly, it's not going to do you very much. So if this guy had Fleet Footwork, he'd have, first of all, way more health than he does right now. Just because of the sustain. He could play safer. But honestly, the way he keeps pushing and not warding, he doesn't even know there's a control ward. There's no way that you can save this playstyle right now with build alone. Builds would help. He'd have higher health. He'd have higher DPS. Like, let's talk about what we were just saying. Sorry, we've been in this pause for... Let's play it in very slow motion, so you can see this kind of unfold. So, the fact about that is, if you had Storm Razor, you'd have a bit more attack speed to have a bit more DPS, and you'd actually have more first, more damage on your first auto. 55 plus 120. So that's 110 plus 120 plus base AD. And, sorry, plus total AD, actually. That's better than Infinity Edge, even on crit. Even in Infinity Edge crit, I think. I haven't got master that last claim, but still, Storm Razor is better. It has a slow as well, and then you have Fleet Footwork as well, which is going to give you the move speed to get away, and you're slowing them down. So not only does this help you retreat, but it helps you move in for something like a flay, helps you slow someone for a hook, which helps in team fights when you get rapid fire for the range. It's very, very good. I'm not sure what he builds afterwards. I don't think he builds rapid fire cannon this game, actually, and this is very sad. In fact, the attack speed, he goes for attack speed boots, which is good for DPS. Nothing wrong with attack speed boots, actually. Top lane, maybe, because you're not an AD carry. You're not expected to provide full-on damage and DPS. You're expected to provide, like, a bruisery fighter, something a bit better, something with some tankiness. And then, this is like my criticisms of AD Thresh players back in Season 6 and beforehand, where if you just build so much AD, you don't have the range and or the tankiness to back it up. You're missing out on Thresh's utility because you're not tanky, and you can't get in range for Flay, simply. You can't dive with Q because you'll die. But you also don't have the range to do anything anyway, so you get in, you get maybe one auto attack, and then you're dead to like some AoE or something. That's why I don't like that approach. You need some tankiness in there, or you need the range of rapid fire. As you can see, he does have a kill here, and then he starts hitting the dragon. Now, I don't think this Thresh is the best player in the world, and it's okay not to be the best player in the world. I'm just kind of derping around, don't mind me. In fact, he goes for a play here, and then he blames... Apparently, these guys were pre-made. The Yasuo messaged me after the game, was like, hey, sorry, my dude was, like, tilted. That's fine. Everyone gets tilted. That's why I'm muting the chat. You don't need to see that. You can hear about it. He wasn't that mad, to be honest. It was, like, usual kind of, like, tilt, like, hey, F off. It's nothing, like, toxic. Nothing too toxic, anyway. So he goes for a play here, and Yasuo sees 3 people... One of which being the 7-3 Twitch, and he's like, I'm out of there. I'm gonna head out. And Thresh is like, hey, we could have done something here, apparently. Little does he know, he's not tanky. If Thresh was tanky, maybe. And even then, Yasuo is not that fed either. Yasuo needs another power spike, I think, to make some kind of play, even if he was tanky. There's also a rune set over here, but whatever. Let's talk a bit more about the Senna. So now we're going for Black Cleaver. Black Cleaver is going to give us some kind of shred. Armor, percentage armor shred, which is okay. It does take us a little while to get going. Obviously, we don't have attack speed. We do have Q. And the CDR does give us more Qs as well. But what it also does, the stats alone without the armor shred are 100% cost efficient. As we know, I think. You get a lot of health as well. Again, that would work brilliantly with Rasputin dying, but more importantly, you get the Phage passive as well, which is going to provide even more move speed, stacking with her passive quite well, I think, because they are technically 2 different things. I don't know how movement speed stealing and movement speed increases kind of stack. I imagine they're multiplicative. Oh, Diana gets hooked here. Now, Thresh does a good thing here. He doesn't go in on it. He doesn't double cast the Q. He could have if he wanted to burst as quickly as possible. Now we get some nice value from the entire team here with the Twitch ult, the Senna ult, even the Kai'Sa like Q. Just a ton of AoE going on, and everyone just kind of bunches up on their team. What Thresh should have done If, by the way, if you are the Thresh and you're watching this because, like, I don't know, your friend told you about it, sorry if it sounds like I'm going in on you. So let's see here. So also he doesn't go in, which is good because you want to keep your distance. You are an AD carry at this point, especially with no rapid fire, no dead man, no anything. But he misplays. It's obvious. Like, he would do this on any champion. He could do this on, you know, Jinx. But he kind of goes melee form here, which is cool for the style points on the melee Thresh animation. But what he should have done, whilst he was queuing, if he wanted to do this, he should have backed away during the Q animation. So after the hook is landed, you can walk backwards and stay in range. If you can press A if you want to see, like, what the exact range is. And then you can quite safely do it afterwards, especially if you get some follow-up CC. So that's what you'd want to do defensively. And then you're still getting hook value for your team, but you're not kind of, you know, inting for it. And then you're kind of saving your ultimate and your E for self-peel, and peeling your allies as well, the other people in the backline with you. And that is a good thing that you can do. But usually with 450 range, you're actually miles ahead of your main backline because, well, 450 range is terrible. So at this point, their jungler decides to go AFK, and the game, it's clearly a win from here. We're going to keep talking anyway, because now we can probably focus a bit more on the Senna build. And hopefully I don't run out of breath anymore. Not out of breath. I need water. It's downstairs. I'll get it later. Now Twitch goes for a bit of a yeet, and it does work, because Twitch is extremely fed. Kai'Sa coming in with the plasma is going to work really well as well. And then, of course, we get some heals from the Yuumi. This Yuumi is pretty damn good, I must say. I know some people are like rolling their eyes at me saying a Yuumi player is good, but I can appreciate it. It's not exactly hard to be... You've seen some bad Yuumis in your time, and I'm sure you can relate to what I'm saying. We could have ended the game at this point, but we decided to go a bit more defensive. Not sure why, really. I mean, I wasn't thinking. So I tried to ult to save our bot lane there. And it might have given the extra time it needs for Twitch to then come in and clean up. And you can see that now Thresh is 3-8. He's not going to be able to do anything for this game. I think he goes Stormrazor here, actually. He's gone for another BF sword, which is super greedy. He's not going to get away with this. Like, no one is going to see you walk up, deal tons of damage to someone. Like, it's not even enough damage to kill anyone yet. And you aren't tough enough. Like, you're a joke, essentially. Sorry. But, like, if you go bot lane to try to farm and you go anywhere near the halfway point, you are a free kill to the enemy team. Because you have no mobility, you don't have tankiness, and you don't even have, like, kiting potential with Stormrazor, Fleet Footwork, or anything like that. And the chance of him actually getting Pressy Attack off are actually so incredibly slim. Look how he can't fight back here. Later on, he does try, and he does get a few lucky kills, actually. And I will say lucky kills because they are actually lucky kills. Because we kind of throw. Well, one of the kills is actually completely my fault because I decided to try to help this guy. So you'll see what I mean later on. So we got all sorts of things going. Team's going here. We'll look at Thresh because I'm just pushing bot. So if he had rapid fire here, he could go for the pokes that he's clearly gunning for. And then he starts farming. It's okay. Alright. Yasuo goes for that solo ult. And then Twitch goes very much in. I should have ulted here. Honestly, I wasn't paying attention. Oh, there it is. There's the drunk Senna ult. I'd like to apologize after that one. I felt really bad. So yeah, split push Senna super OP. Speaking of which, one of the items that is recommended is Runeterra's Hurricane, especially if you're ahead. And she has no attack speed scaling. Her attack speed scaling is terrible. It's not like Jhin where it goes into AD or anything. It's just terrible. You get like no attack speed from it. What it does do though is every auto attack reduces Senna's Q cooldown. So if you're hitting 3 people constantly, and you have CDR from like Cleaver, it actually goes down like hilariously fast. I think I die here. I get chased down. Ah, yes. So Ezreal gives up, but Yasuo keeps going, and I'm able to peel him off. But then something happens here, which I'm just going to say was a really nice read, because he has no vision here. We have vision of everything right now. So I was actually going to continue walking, and I thought, hey, I'm going to pull a sneaky on him. Okay, maybe that ward did see me. But it lands perfectly right there, and I get the ult, and then bam, I'm dead. That's fine. Let's look at Thresh. Oh, Thresh is dead. That seemed kind of cool. So there's this kind of clown show for the rest of the game where like this Twitch tries to solo the Baron. Everyone tells him like, stop. They're, like pinging in the fruit. I ult him. That's all I can say. Hey man, just eat some fruit. It'll be okay. And then he dies. And then we have a very much a clown fiesta for a lot of this game. But we do get the. I know this is not soul yet. New Zealand up there. Another point of interest is Thresh has 78 souls at 27 minutes, which is not particularly ideal, but it's higher than most support Threshes I see, so I'll give him a pass. When you're starting out, 100 souls for 30 minutes is a pretty decent goal. Right, so Yasuo gets his ult off here. I'm trying to heal, and I get some good AoE going on there. Trying to take the turret, but I'm a bit weak, so the big AP down is going to slap that instead. Now this is where I think Thresh's reign, short-lived reign of terror, is actually going to begin. The question is, did I have ult? No, I did not have ult. So, she's trying to get away. There's lots of bomb plants that she could use. If she used that one, she would have gotten away. But he's able to use this one and then get the kill. And it annoys me because he's like, oh, look, check out the one-shots, man. Like, she had no health. Yeah, I die because I tried to like help and then I'm being blind and stupid. Meanwhile, Diana is kind of like tearing the Nexus apart, but then she will die too. And then once again, he just last hits her like she's a minion. Which is, it's a nice feeling. It's a satisfying auto attack. But none of them had any health, so come on. I'm joking. I'm not joking. They had no health. It's not a one-shot. Still really fun though. If that's what he wants to do, then I'd say take I can't speak. Take Dark Harvest and go for bot lane. Like, go AD carry, go Dark Harvest, especially if you're playing with a pre-made already, apparently. Go bot lane with them. It's really fun. If you can do it without a pre-made as well. Although it can be... You can be... You know... I've seen supports just full-on leave. Like, go AFK. I've seen them support top lane, and when the top laner doesn't even want it, but they just don't want to go back to bot lane, so they stay up there to be annoying. And turn themselves into a villain. Anyway, looks like the game is ending now. A little bit overdue. But, oh, this is a strange camera. That was nice. So we can see his final build just there, below the victory. Infinity Edge, Storm Razor, and then it looks like he's going for an Essence Reaver next. So he was going actually full AD, which, gotta respect it. So, Infinity Edge, Storm Razor, Essence Reaver. I don't think there's another one, probably another Infinity Edge. That's kind of respectable, but you're never going to farm that up. Especially with Pressy Side. Like, if you're going for that kind of meme dream build, you definitely want Fleet Footwork so you can survive lane and farm as long as you can. I won't talk too much about farming. Like, look at me. I suck. 108. If you have any Senna tips, by the way, let me know in the comments below, because I suck at this champ, I think. I don't think it's too hard to do like a decent performance with her, because her kit is pretty damn versatile with a lot of utility. And she has a lot of healing and stuff. But yeah. So, what we'd recommend to this Thresh... I'd say go Storm Razor Rapid Fire. It's what I usually do. But if we try to objectively rip that out of the park, because obviously it's my go-to, so I always do it, I don't know much else. If he had Storm Razor, then there's first of all, there's higher damage on that first auto. There'd also be more attack speed, so if he was going with Pressy Attack, then he would actually get Pressy Attack off easier. It would have better DPS as well, I think, because of the attack speed. The slow also helps him get in for combos. In fact, I'd say he should have used his abilities much more often rather than letting me win almost every trade, and some of them he doesn't even trade back. So that was a thing as well. There's plenty of like minor player issues. I say minor, but major. So he should like ward. Obviously Twitch jungle, not the easiest thing to deal with. So he needs wards, control wards, blah 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 blah, all that generic stuff to deal with Twitch jungle. And he needs to watch his lane control, because pushing as Thresh is like so much worse than pushing with Kennen or someone with some kind of mobility. Because Thresh is already slow, he's already squishy, and he has no mobility. unless you hook something, and they haven't implemented award hooks yet, so there's no getting out of the ganks that he was receiving. So that's just what we have to say about that. So watch the ganks, watch the lane control, probably take fleet footwork, or go bot lane with Dark Harvest. That's what I'd say. I don't think he's watching. If you are, then that's a takeaway. But moreover, for you guys that are playing AD Thresh, I hope that this has given some kind of insight, I guess, on what not to do, because there's a lot of... I've not seen anyone play AD Thresh in my games. I've never played with subs or anything like that. But I've never seen an AD Thresh kind of thinking along the same lines. That doesn't mean I'm big brain and you're small brain. That means, like, I'm not... Like, there's clearly different goals in mind for builds and for game styles when people play AD Thresh, and a lot of them are actually just kind of going, hey, haha, I'm trolling, dude. Which is clearly not what I want to do. I want to try hard with AD Thresh as best as I can. Anyway, this was probably a very long video, actually. 30 minutes, yeah. Wow. We really went in on that one. So, hope you guys have... Wow. How do I stream, dude? When I do replays, I can't even speak. So, hope you guys have enjoyed this replay commentary. Let me know if you want more, because I haven't done them in a while because there was such an overwhelming demand for live games, and I'm going to still supply that, no doubt. Let me know if you enjoyed. Leave a comment below, like if you did. Subscribe if you aren't already, and I know that a lot of people aren't actually. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.